So Shalini, you co-authored this book AI for you, the new game changer, which is now in Amazon and in other stores. So I want to get straight into one of the key points of that book, which you mentions about reimagining organizations in the time of AI, which is a core theme, right, in the beginning of the book. So my question here is, what do you mean by reimagining organizations, like in the time of AI? What is the key aspects of it?
Yeah, very good question. And first of all, I should, show you the book here. So this
Yes.
is the book which we are talking about, and it just got released with my co-author Sameep Mehta, and Bloomsbury is a publisher. Let me explain the genesis of why we started writing this book. So both Sameep and I, when we got together, we thought that there are so many organizations who talk about AI. Either they they have certain data scientists who are just working on AI, or the AI itself is not known as a concept even within the organization. Or what people are doing is they're just taking examples of, when you think of AI, the example you get is Netflix, you think of Google, you think of Alexa, Siri. I mean, these are the things which come to your mind. But there are so many use cases which organizations can do, and they are doing. There are very good organizations who are working on concrete use cases across multiple verticals within them, across multiple business units, and the organizations are absolutely changing the business that they are in. And there are three kinds of organizations, and we are talking about that in the book. There are some organizations who are AI born. They're born because AI is there, right? They might, like, for example, we take example of Uber, and similarly in my book I'm taking example of Visa, which is a chatbot which is just helping on mental health, right? So they are AI born because AI is the reason that they exist. They are using AI so extensively that the whole organization is driven by that. Healthify Me is, gives you diet plans, and it tells you nutrition plans, and helps you reduce weight loss. And there is an AI which bot which is looking, and the models are looking at so many nutrition plans, so many different body types, diet types. So you need AI to be able to do that. So these are AI organizations. There are certain organizations who are AI led, which means that AI gives them a reason to live in the new world, right? They might be traditional organizations, but they are completely driven by data, right? For example, Big Basket. There is so much of, it's born on data, right? It's a digital organization completely, and the AI serves so much center of that organization. And there are certain organizations which are AI enabled, which is they were traditional organizations, but they're completely reinventing themselves by adopting AI. For example, Kotak Bank, right? Which was a traditional bank, but now today the use of AI is so much that they have reached out to their customers in an absolutely different manner. So there is a reimagination required for AI led, for AI enabled, for AI born companies as well. And suddenly we see a span of organizations which are absolutely new in nature, have a new business portfolio, or are completely existing because of AI. So that's what we call as reimagining enterprises in the times of AI.
I think one point you mentioned struck me very much is that you mentioned the perception of AI, right? People generally perceive something like Google or Siri or Alexa as an AI, or it's other extreme. Like people used to say, "Oh, is AI gonna become like Skynet in Terminator or Matrix or iRobot?" The movie. So there is this. I think you also mentioned many times. There is this whole noise versus signal situation here. There is a lot of clutter in terms of information, right? Everywhere there is an AI news. Recently I saw that a professor used an ML tool to find out the optimum time for frying fish. And this is news, and there is this lot of demystification requires in AI, and I think that's something you also mentioned in the previous conversation. So how does this book act as a demystifying AI?
Yeah, very, very good. And I think that was one of the main reasons why we wanted to write this book, because we wanted to address the fear of AI. right? And there are multiple kinds of fear of AI. There could be fear of loss of jobs, and in the book we talk about that, we give examples when even computerization started, right? There people used to think that there'll be no more jobs because now computers have come, but look at where we are. The entire industry has grown. The amount of jobs, the amount of new profiles, new roles which have got created with computerization is complete. And India is leading. India is the biggest leader in the whole IT services industry. And similarly, AI is going to follow the same path. People are say that there's loss of jobs, but actually there will be a change where the kind of jobs will change, but the jobs will be powered by AI. The it will be augmented, it will be even enhanced. The roles will be enhanced by AI. So we talk a lot about the fear of loss of jobs. Then we also talk of fear of the that the doomsday is here, right? The actual fear of AI, that it's going to be really bad for us and there's something bad going to happen. And then we talk a lot about the ethics, that how you need to make ethical AI, how you need to make responsible AI, and how we all are stewards of AI, and we have to ensure that AI is not unleashed. It is we The more we understand, the better it will not unleash itself. The more we leave AI only to a group of data scientists and a group of computer scientists who are just making it, and we don't understand it, the worse it will be. So whether we are business managers, whether we are product managers, whether we are designers, whether we are marketers, sellers, CIOs, CXOs, we have to understand the whole AI and how to make it better for our business and not have it unleashed. So the fear of AI, the fear of biases it can have. We even talk about the bias which can come into AI, because bias is there in our society. It's present between you and me. It's present in each one of us, and so it's bound to get into AI. It's bound to get into the systems that we program. But if we are responsible and if we create an ethical code amongst ourselves, and as an organization we are able to create an ethical code as an within us, then we can be sure that it will not creep. The biases that we want and which are there in the society do not creep into it. So the fear of bias, the fear of loss of jobs, the fear of it overpowering us, or the fear of sometimes being left out, right? There are a lot of people who feel that they'll be left out and somebody else is going to take away all the benefits of AI. So all kinds of fear is what we address, and we take several examples in this, that how you can get over those fears, get yourself familiar, and that's what we demystify AI for. And the other aspect which we look is that, suppose you've adopted AI, then in that adoption of AI, how is it that people are able to be successful in AI? Because one part is that you adopt it and you get over the fears, but then you do projects, you might fail, right? So once you fail, you don't want to do it again. So how do you want to be successful in AI, and you pick the right use cases, you pick the right strategy. So this entire process is needed to be able to demystify AI.
So another interesting thing, once you're mentioning about this demystifying effort, it came to my mind is you are known as a leader for innovation. You've been a very renowned work you have done in the industry. You have many patents in your name. Similarly, with your co-author, he has also so many patents in name, being an academician. How does this idea of a book came? Was it always there within you, or you realize there's a need which is real, and you want to address it through a book?
Yeah, I always say that there is a time for everything. So there's definitely there was a gap in the industry. Both Sameep and I looked at all the entire industry, and we did not see any book. Either the books are too technical, right? They
Mhm.
just cater to the technology, and there is a huge set of business people who have so many questions about AI. They want to know AI, and they are scared. Oh, this is technology. I'm not good in technology. And there are and some of them are actually looking at what you say as various courses, right? They are looking at various courses, but then but then there are questions in minds of people, like, a chief digital officer or a chief data officer is thinking, or a CEO is thinking, how do I do innovation in my organization, right? It's a normal question that a CEO who wants to run his company would think of. How do I do an AI? How do I do innovation using AI? And they would also like to think that, what are the guardrails, what are the checks, and how is it essential for the core competency of the business. What could be the AI journey? Where do I start? Whom do I hire? What kind of people do I take in? What's the responsibility of each role, right? So there are product managers. How much do they need to know? How much designers do need to know? And suppose I fail, how do I handle failure? So these questions, both Sameep and I were seeing while we were talking to a lot of people and interacting, and we saw that these questions are on people's mind, and there is no book which is in India which is catering in to taking the examples of the India industry and talking to them, talking to people about it. So in our book, we thought that we will take the best practices in the industry, and that's why if you see every chapter, I have taken a case study, and both Sameep and I used to interview like Kotak Mahindra Bank. We have, Big Basket. We have Nirmai. We have Healthify Me. We have Yardley Investnet, Max Life Insurance. So these are various companies. We went and actually spent a lot of time interviewing their CXOs and understanding how they have reinvented themselves with AI. And we said this is a wonderful masala for the book to get it all together and create some best practices. And we have also given a framework in the book, which is we wanted to give a framework for people to make it, easy for them. So we call something called as AI mindset, right? AI is a mindset. It's not a technology anymore. So as a mindset, we introduce that framework and we say, how do you bring that AI mindset in your organization? So that was a key driver for us. We really want organizations to have the AI mindset. And of course, our thoughts kind of, both Sameep and mine, our thoughts kind of aligned, and we said, why don't we have a book? It took us some time, and during COVID, we kind of, got some time to sit down and write it. But here we are.
I think one thing I noticed about your book is that, like you pointed out, speaking about AI and giving Indian examples, like that Indian approach. Whether, like, for example, I think you mentioned AI-led companies. Nirmai falls into that category, right? And other companies like Max Life who incorporated AI later down. So, and we are very grateful that India AI also being mentioned in the book. We are very grateful over this, and looking forward to reading that part. So, one question I want to ask is. What are the biggest challenges you face? I think you worked on the book for more than 2 years now, and it's a long period. Even in terms of an industry point, working on anything. So, what was your biggest challenge and obstacle writing a book?
Yeah. So biggest challenge, you want to know about writing the book or about AI as such?
The book, you creating this book.
Oh, okay. While creating the book, I would say the biggest challenge was to be able to pen, it's the same challenge as of AI, which is so much of data, right? How do you put it together in a readable format which people can derive value from? Right,
Right.
that's always the biggest challenge. We interviewed so many leaders, right? So many leaders. And that's where I want to bring in India AI also, because AI is an ecosystem, and India AI is putting forward an ecosystem. And in the ecosystem, we met everybody, right? We met developers, we met data scientists, we met CXOs, we met academicians, we met the creators, the innovators, the builders, the consumers. We have met everybody. We have huge amount of advice of what to do and what not to do. But then how do you put together in a content which is readable and which is useful? I think that's the biggest challenge which we had. But thankfully, yes, we got some good advice, and thanks of course to India AI, that you have the whole ecosystem of several players whom we can reach out to. And there are so many people in your under your umbrella, that it makes it easy to reach out to a lot of people.
And the book has been receiving a lot of praise from people like Gurnani, many of the industry leaders, Abhishek Singh sir, from NEGD. It's been so much very good reviews are coming out. Well, I want to come back to that one point you mentioned, the mindset. AI is a mindset, right? And I have heard from many experts that there is this block, or there is this lack of confidence, or there is something that's been preventing our industry, our entrepreneurs, our leaders from embracing it completely. So what is that hindrance? Why is it difficult for many of our organizations to embrace that AI mindset?
Yeah. So, first of all, you have to read the book to get it because
Yes,
that's what
no
makes it.
spoilers.
Yeah. So we talk about that, why people fail. So we talk about an AI journey. That AI journey is that, and it's actually there are a lot of things, reasons why AI would fail, and there are challenges. So there is, so we talk about the AI journey, which talks about how you start at a proof of concept stage, and then you start, once you cross the proof of concept, you'll fail in that. You might choose a wrong proof of concept. You might put in too much technology at that space, and you will be just getting lost in technology, whether without thinking of the business drivers which will benefit you, right? So you might fail at that stage itself. You might put in too much money or too less money, right? Or you might put in the wrong skills, right? And then
Correct.
if you are able to cross that stage, then we talk about a stage called AI infusion. That at the AI infusion stage, that's the time when your organization is just growing, and it is just growing, and you are growing AI, and your organization might be an established organization, but AI is growing in your organization. So at that point of time, how much money to put, how much talent to put, how you need to change your culture, what kind of use cases, what are the business drivers, how you need to be sure of that, how you need to do design thinking. So we go into each and every aspect of it, and we say that for you to be successful in your AI infusion stage, you have to do everything in that, everything has to be in the right manner, and all the, like a lego blocks, it has to come together. So, in the book, we talk about the failure points. We talk about what are the ingredients for success in each of these areas, so that you are able to, cross the AI infusion stage. And once you cross the AI infusion stage, you get into the transformed stage, because your organization will transform only when, it has done the roadblocks or the hurdles of a POC and of an AI infused stage. You cannot be a transformed organization or from day one. You have to have, and we talk about the flywheel concept, that how, if for a flywheel to happen, there. So how does the AI flywheel starts moving? That's
Correct.
the concept we talk about. That it takes a lot of, small failures and small successes for it to, have a momentum to start building and start moving.
I think one you mentioned the initial state, right, where the failure as is more probable, right? And I think many of the leaders have a habit of leaving it there. Like you mentioned, could be the lack of a funding, or maybe to putting too much money. And but it's important to go beyond that to the AI infusion state. That's a message I think I take it from your note. Now, one final question will be is that. What are the, I mean, you mentioned your book is targeting CXOs and industry leaders and others, but at the same time, how can someone like a general layman, or a student, or a aspiring entrepreneur benefit from your book?
Yeah. So first of all, for entrepreneurs, there are a lot of case studies in that, and and this framework, which of AI mindset, which I talked about, it also applies to entrepreneurs. Very interestingly, there are certain questions which, and I think entrepreneurs and students would love it, right? Questions like, an entrepreneur is starting a journey, and the first thing that they have to answer is, which use case should I make AI for? What is the use case? So I have actually, and I want to stress on this point that we went and talked to a venture capitalist, a VC fund, and we had long discussions with them as to how do you evaluate AI companies? And it's a deep tech fund called Pi Venture Fund. We talked to them and we said, how do you evaluate organizations? So many, how do you fund them? How do you decide? And we took their framework and we kind of tweaked it and remodeled it for AI. And that's a model we are saying that this is how, if you want to be successful and you want to put your bets on which use case will succeed for AI, and that is the framework we talk about. So it's a very time tested model which a venture capitalist uses. So naturally all startups will find it very useful.
Right.
And then you also talked about students. So I think for students it's so important. And I myself interact with a lot of students across the country. And what I see is that students are not just, of course there are data scientists and people who are doing MTechs or BTechs in computer science and AI, etc. I have also worked with students at grade 11th and 12th and kind of created a curriculum for AI for all. So I have understood what a 11, grade 11 student will want to learn. And students are coming from commerce background also, they are coming from designing background, even they need to learn AI. So I am talking about roles that how you can evolve as an AI ethicist, for example,
Mhm.
right? How can you evolve as an AI designer? How can you evolve as an AI business analyst with a lot of financial knowledge, right? So people coming from different backgrounds can evolve themselves and learn about AI. It's AI for all, right? It's not, AI is not a technology. Again, I'm going back. AI is a mindset. And for
Right.
mindset, you need everybody. You need content writers. You need the entire, the business analyst to understand how to go about it. So,
Mm.
and students today are looking for all kinds of different roles, right? They want to be marketers, advertisers. How in advertising you can learn AI. How, as you're segregating content from various places, and how you need to see that the recommendation has to go for an AI. So AI is for all. It's for students, and that's why in the book you will find that even students will benefit, even entrepreneurs will benefit, and even people who are in general in business and not from the tech background will also benefit from it.
So thank you very much, Shalini, for this amazing conversation, and I'm looking forward to the book. And I'm sure the book has received so many praises and so many amazing good comments over it. I hope the book will be a huge success and it will help many people find their AI journey.